this is Brandon Moon with Dragontail Tenkara. I want to welcome you to our fly tying night tonight. We're trying to bring you really good content each week and try and help inspire the tyers in the community to be tying up some different patterns, posting them up, and growing the community. So tonight we're going to be tying up a little bit something different though. Tonight we're going to be tying up what they call a North Country spider. The North Country spider originated in England and British Isles. Okay, this pattern has been around since the 1500s. So the North Country spiders have deep-rooted tradition within the fly fishing world. I believe that Tenkara anglers also tied some very similar patterns to these North Country spiders, and I fish them a lot. They have a lot of great success. They're going to hold true to that simplicity of a Tenkara fly because they're not going to require a whole bunch of materials. With that, I want to encourage you to make sure and like your favorite video. Hopefully this is one of them. Leave us a comment, say hi, or ask us a question. We want to engage with you and answer any questions that you may have. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to receive new future notifications. This helps us increase our content and get out to more people. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. For the hook, we're tying on an ML 052 standard wire 14. This is the dry fly hook. Okay, for the thread, we're going to be using fluorescent yellow 12/0 Semperfli Classic wax, and we'll go ahead and get started with that. Get that hook in the vise. Okay, I'm going to start this roughly about 1.5 to 2 hook eyes behind the hook. I'm going to use this tag end to help create a nice smooth underbody. The underbody of your fly is the foundation. You want a good clean foundation. So I'm going to wrap back to the point of that hook, snip out that end. I'm going to create a hot spot by wrapping rearward about 4-5 wraps. You see that's really just going past that hook point, which is where my body is going to start. You can see I'm right there again. Now I've got my nice little hot spot butt here. Now I'm going to take the micro glint in purple from Semperfli. This is a really cool material. I'm going to tie this in. At that point, now I'll just kind of wrap forward, secure that in. These patterns are real simple. They really just take a real slim body so you don't have to build anything up. You can create a little bit of a taper if you want, or just do it as it traditionally was with a real slim body. So I'm going to take and half hitch that so that I can wrap my body with my rotary vise. Now I'm going to take and start wrapping my body, and I want to wrap this so that everything is on top of each other. I don't want any gaps in this body. If I did have some, it's not going to affect the effectiveness of this pattern in any way. So I'm just going to wrap that all the way forward. If you don't have the rotary vise, you're just going to wrap this just like you would regular thread. I'm going to wrap it all the way up to where I started my thread. Now I'm going to take and tie that off. Make sure it's secured nice and good. Trim that out. This pattern I'm going to be tying using Starling. Starling's got a really cool iridescent look to it. Okay, beautiful, beautiful feathers. I've already got one pulled out, if I can find it. There it is. Fell off my vise. So you can see I pulled all the fluff. I pulled this down to where I'm not going to where I want to stop wrapping my hackle. I like a bare stem when I finish. So I'm going to switch hands. I'm going to take my 2 fingers and I'm going to pinch the tip of this hackle feather, this starling feather, in my fingers. And I'm just going to preen those hackle fibers rearward. Now I've got my tie-in point, so I'll set my tie-in point there. Now I'm just going to tie it in, 2 wraps over the top to secure it, pull it back and give it a good couple wraps. I'm also going to make sure I cover my hook shank. I want to make sure that my hackle has something to grip so it doesn't slip when I go and start wrapping that. So now I'm going to take and trim out that tie-in point. Got the one fiber that was kind of straying off. I'm going to make sure and set my hackle off to the side here. And this is going to help keep it out of the way as I'm wrapping so I get a good clean wrap. Not trying to finagle around that thread. I'm going to take my hackle pliers here. Okay. I'm going to slide that in there. Now I'm going to use my fingers and that hackle stem as I'm wrapping to palmer this hackle rearward. This is why it's important not to crowd the eye of that hook. Also know that starling is very brittle, so you have to be very careful not to pull on it too tight. You can see I pull those fibers rearward, capturing them with my hackle stem there. That's going to help keep that clean. Now I've got that wrapped. I'm going to take my thread, capture that hackle stem. Now I'm going to release, pull that all rearward. Now I'm just going to create my little head here on this. I want to make sure I don't capture any fibers going forward. Okay, now I've got my head there. I'm going to take my hackle pliers, and one of the reasons I like this Semperfli Classic Wax thread is it lays flat, it doesn't build up much bulk, and especially in 12/0 it gives me the ability to create a nice clean head. Take the end of my loom whip finish tool, snip off that thread. Now I'll take and pull that hackle stem forward. We'll trim that out. Now you can be done with this. You can put a little bit of glue on that head there. head cement. You can do it as your whip finishing. That's something that Davey McPhail does a lot. Or you can take, for this I use the thin hard Solarez. I'm going to put just a small amount of that UV glue on the tip of that bodkin needle. And then I'm just going to apply it to the head of this fly. Okay. Now I've got that on there. This is going to kind of secure that knot if I need it. And it's also going to make sure that that knot doesn't come undone, and then it's going to give me a really good glow to this as well. So you can see here that I've got that, as I'm curing that UV resin, I've got a hot spot butt that's going to add some attraction to this pattern, and a hot spot head. Okay, this fly you can fish just like any other kabari and fish it extremely effective. A lot of people fish these on what they call a swing, so kind of at a 45-degree downstream, and then drift it and slide it in and twitch it on the rise as it's rising. But fish this on a dead drift, and some small twitches is going to be just absolutely deadly. Make sure you tie a bunch of these up and put them in your box, and we appreciate your support. Once again, I want to invite you to make sure you like this video and your other favorite videos. Make sure you leave us a comment. Just say hi or ask a question. Either way, we'd love to engage with you. Hit the subscribe button and the bell to receive future notifications. These are very important in helping us grow this channel to reach more people and get seen by those out there. So we appreciate your support, and hopefully you're back with us again next week as we tie up another pattern for you. You guys have a wonderful evening.